Hey guys, MC Mura here, and today we're making the final tier list for Season 2 of Street Fighter 6. What you're looking at right now is the most recent tier list I had made. This was when Terry just dropped, and after that we had like 5-6 months of gameplay because Terry dropped in September, and they did actually put out a balance batch in December, and that balance batch they did change like every character in the game with it. So today we're gonna go over the characters quickly, and I wanted to leave this template because we're gonna make some adjustments to it. As you know, Capcom Cup is just around the corner. It's gonna start, I think it's gonna start tomorrow actually, and there is news, hopefully, that Season 3 might be sooner than we may expect. The timeline seems to suggest that it might be a little bit sooner. So we're gonna go over the characters quickly. Last tier list I put Ed as number 1, and he was an extremely dominant character back then. Even if you take a look at the qualified character for Capcom Cup 11, special thanks to Cat Cammy. I'm gonna leave a link to this tweet in the comments so you can take a look at it. Ed, there are like 6 Eds in Capcom Cup, so the character was extremely successful, but he did get nerfed in that most recent update. Not all changes ended up like heavily affecting him, some were more important than others. I think by far the biggest change was to his crouching light kicks. This is the one that I feel in like the regular gameplay the most, because it affected his ability to interrupt you on offense. So for example, like if Terry is trying to attack him from this distance, back then for Ed, he would get like 2 crouching light kicks into like that, and that would give him like a pretty good knockdown. Not anymore, because he have to like link into the standing jab, so that's a lot harder for him to do now. See, it just doesn't work. For him, he have to do it like the other way around, interrupt with the jab and then into the light kick. So he's getting that, which, yeah, the jab obviously is a little bit stubby, as you can see, right? So his jab is not that great. So this affected his abilities on defense. Another change that obviously was big was a change to like the desync combos, where now he isn't getting like the thing. Obviously I don't got them, but the change is that the opponent is not losing drive throughout the combo. Pretty much when you finish the dream combo, the opponent drive gauge would be pretty much the same as when you started, which was a really creative change to this combo. They didn't outright remove it or nerf it. His meter gain, I don't think, would change it that much. It's still getting like 80% of the meter, but the drive disparity, that is what was gone. And I think that's good, because Ed would carry you to the corner, you would be low on drive, making it easy for him to put you in burnout. So yeah, it overall affected like how snowbally rounds would be after the dream combos. Another change he got, which I ultimately don't think mattered that much, although it was huge on paper, is this one, the one to the kill rush backwards. And simply Ed players are not really doing that anymore. This is one of these changes where, for me, it was like one thing that is like really unique about Ed, and I hate when they take away like unique tools for characters. But I don't think it affected him that much, because he still got this, which is a tremendous shape. That's still like true block string, so that's great. And even if you got hit, so even like in this specific situation, like he got hit, but check this out, like Terry still lost more drive overall than Ed, and the good thing is Ed is hit as a counter hit and not a punish counter, so he doesn't like get crumbled, he doesn't get comboed, he just gets knocked down, and he like did more damage to Terry's drives than Terry did to him. So it feels like an even trade to me, right? So with all of that being said, I do think that it's hard to say that Ed is like the top tier that he once was. I think he's a lot more fair now. So I'm gonna put him down a little bit into the high tier. I still think he's really good. I still think he's top 10. He's very strong, but I don't think he's as ridiculous as he used to be, right? Cammy is another character that got some changes. Obviously the main one I will say is a change to the DP, the fact that it doesn't switch sides, and that is impactful, but ultimately I don't think it changed her like that much. It seems like a very good bonus to have, but she still has the utility. Like with Ed, you can see that they took away some of his utility. With Cammy, she still has the utility. and obviously she's still like a very good character. So I'm gonna keep her in the top tier, but I don't think she is quite the number one. We're gonna actually shuffle things a little bit. Akuma. Alright, so here's the thing. I think that Akuma is a very good theoretical number one. If we're talking number 1, 2, I'm actually gonna bump Rashid up a little bit. I think Rashid and Akuma are the number 1 and number 2 characters in this game. Akuma is a little bit more theoretical because Akuma is harder to play. He's less forgiving, right? Let's actually bring in Rashid, right? I think the difference between Rashid and Akuma is, on paper, Akuma is really strong. Akuma is super efficient, super good, super good. Walk speed, good normals, good button, good wave punishes, amazing fireball, amazing supers. Everything about him is super good. But because of the low HP and because he is somewhat reliant on like throwing fireballs, and obviously like if that got jumped, he gets done. It's hard for me to say like Akuma is number 1. You know what I'm saying? I think he's really solid. He's super strong in this game. But Great Desert Storm. Like, Rashid is so safe in how good he is that it's hard to not say that Rashid is ultimately like easier to play. There aren't that many people. Well, Rashid is also not easy. I don't want to say Rashid is easy to play as well. I don't think either of them are like easy characters to play, but Rashid is safer. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're good, if you got the setup, if you got the neutral with Rashid, I think it's like it is safer with Rashid. It's more efficient with Rashid. Akuma is a little bit more interactive. So Rashid also does have some issues, like his lights I think are a little bit stubby. It makes characters like Bison a little bit hard. The good thing is, I think both of these characters have some bad matchups or matchups where they struggle. So that's good, right? So they are the top 2 characters in my opinion, for obvious reason. We all know about this, we have discussed it forever. I think Rashid overall, I will give him a little bit of an edge because he's safer, right? I think the game plan with Rashid is a lot safer. Next up we got Bison. Bison haven't changed. I'm still gonna put him in top 3. He did get some changes to like his scaling, where now he's doing a little bit less damage. And I do think over time people have gotten more and more accustomed to dealing with his pressure, with dealing with that bombs and all of that. But like the damage changes ultimately that didn't matter that much. He's still doing like monster damage. Like his optimal combos is now like 79% down from like 81, which is kind of ridiculous. Like his damage output, all things considered, is still like, that's like an easy 60%. So Bison haven't changed that much. I'm gonna keep him there. And Cammy and Guile, like I said, Cammy a little bit weaker. Guile, Guile also haven't changed that much. Now, looking at the high tiers, there is a character that I will absolutely bump up, which is Ken. I'm actually gonna put Ken instead ahead of Cammy. Yeah, I have underrated Ken once again. I have fallen for the Ken propaganda. I mean, there is like an entire video by Broski on why Ken is super good, but yeah, this character, like you can't argue with success, and Ken is absolutely successful. His game plan is still just as effective as it has always been. Like the fact that he can carry you to the corner super easily with his combos, Tatsu, the fact that this gives Oki, he still has a side switch. Like while Cammy's side switch became a lot weaker, he still has a side switch, which is amazing. He still got the throw loop, he still got the corner carry. Jinrai, like this, is still absolutely tremendous at shipping at your opponent, and you still, like, a lot of characters still have like difficulties dealing with it. He still got the fireball driver, like everything about Ken that makes Ken good. Like he have already been discussed to death. Yeah, and he is the most successful character in Capcom Cup. Like, is there. Like, all things considered, it's hard to say that Ken is not absolutely ridiculous. Guile, I think he's top tier. I think he's very, very good. He is very safe as well. Guile, boom, game plan, like boom, drive rush. I think he's still like the best boom drive rusher in the game. Still, or like the best fireball drive rusher in the game, because booms have so much hit stun. Like, say that he doesn't get hit. See, like that's still combo, so that's actually kind of ridiculous. Like even from like, far ranges like that, that's so good. And that gave him like a safe jump. So, Guile is super good, and I think his matchup short is also still pretty good. I think he struggles a little bit versus Cammy. He struggles versus JP, and JP is a character that got improved, and I think Terry also fights him really well. So he's still very good. It's hard for me to say that Guile is like immediately top 5, because I think he requires more work than any of the guys over here, if I'm being honest as well. So he's still very, very good for everything we have mentioned multiple times, but yeah, really powerful character, but just outside of top 5. Zangief is a character that got nerfed as well. They removed his jump cancel SPD. That was like one of his best defensive options, and I think even me putting him here as a high tier was, I think that was a little bit lower than most of the community's like perception of him. A lot of people would think that he was top tier. I thought he was just high tier, and now that his defense is significantly weaker, because yeah, this is a strategy that impacted only like super high level Zangiefs, but it mattered a lot, and he's still really good. Shut up, Rashid. He's still really, really good, but I can't put him like higher than top tier. I think his defense now is like he's a lot more vulnerable on defense than he used to be. JP, I'm gonna bump up a little bit. I think JP right now is super strong, and we actually seen a lot of like resurgent. Like there have been a JP resurgence lately, where the character is getting played a lot more. Obviously, they brought back the amazing anti-air, his crouching heavy punch, which was insane during as of last season. During season 1, JP was a menace. The anti-air was a part of it, but now that it is back, he is super good. Obviously, they nerfed his like level 2 a little bit, but they also buffed it. Like they nerfed the jab conversions out of it, right? Which is something that it kind of stinks. But also now, if the opponent is like doing a parry, let's make him block everything. And this is actually like a pretty big impactful change. Like he gets like a punish counter grab. So even like the only way that is reliable to deal with his level 2, now he does have an answer to it, and they brought back his anti-air. So overall, I would say he's very good. I don't think he's quite like the top tier that he used to, because back then, remember Amnesia? Like the fact that it gave him like unscaled like 70% combos on reversals. He was truly busted back then. But yeah, he's not quite that level, but still very good, all things considered. Aki, haven't changed that much. I still think she's like in the top 10 discussion. Very, very good. Yuri, Chun-Li, DJ, I don't think they have changed that much either. I actually think Ryu is... I'm gonna put Ryu and Luke ahead of them a little bit. I think Yuri and Chun-Li overall are still like really strong characters, but they haven't changed that much, while Luke most definitely got some changes that I think helped him a little bit. And I think, yeah, it's kind of funny because I feel like we have come back full circle with Luke, where he was insane. At the start of the game, people thought he wasn't that good, and then he became insane, and then they nerfed him, and now we're at a point where Luke is kind of underrated, which is kind of funny. But yeah, they gave him like some new block strings. I think overall his nerfs, they started like reverting them a little bit, because he got like a little bit more damage now on his combos, which is a good thing. Obviously, Luke players are now also doing a lot of like that. Like the ender with the OD, oh my god, haven't played Lucas so much. I've lost my perfects. Like they're doing this now, which did like insane damage, like 4k into Oki. So that's great. But yeah, they brought back his damage a little bit. It's not quite what it used to be in season 1, but in relation to the rest of the game, I think it's good. I also think the fact that he got the wall splat like this now leading into the wall splat, and he pretty much gets like Oki straight out of that. That is pretty great. Like the hit reaction is really good now. It gets Oki +4 in your face. That's great. And obviously this also could lead to like cancels into super. So now because of the changes, as you can see, like he does get like a lot stronger of a presence, especially in like in fireball wars. Like that one stray, if you throw a fireball at him and he happened to like OD now, like yeah, that's risky. Like he gets much better. Oh my god, my controller. He gets much better conversions out of that now. So all things considered, I think he's starting to get back up there. So next up we got Ryu, and I'm still a believer in Ryu, man. I've always thought he was underrated right from the start of the season. I felt like his damage is good, his neutral is good, his throw loop is insane. I still think Ryu probably have like the best throw loop in Street Fighter 6, especially like obviously like corner throw loop. I made a video before about why I thought Ryu is super good, and it haven't changed. They actually buffed him. He got some cheese factors to him now, like that drive rush overhead being like a 7 framer, which means like you get like a DP afterwards. Oh, you do get that. Just take a look at like how much damage that does. That would do like 4.7k, I believe, which killed 4.8. So that could be like a very good cheese factor. His overhead is 20 frames. It's really fast. Like it's one of the fastest overhits in the game. I got the meaty fireball, got the meaty setups. Crouching medium kick is good. Obviously got the Shoto heavy punch. Got the amazing Hashogeki on block, which is safe and is like a counter hit launcher. He got everything. He is overshadowed by Ken and Akuma, but I think if you played Ryu in that more aggressive style, he is super duper uber effective. Blanka, DJ, Sean, Jury, I don't think either of them got like any significant changes. Jury, the changes to crouching heavy punch, I don't see it coming to play that often. Chun-Li got a little bit nerfed. Again, I think it didn't impact her that much, all things considered. And I'm gonna get into Mai because there's a lot of similarities to these two. DJ, I think, got a little bit of a damage buff, but also it's not super dramatic to the point where it would like be a big buff to him. I think DJ got a little bit power crept, but I think he's in a good position right now as well, right? So DJ got the change to like this combo where now this works, so he's doing a little bit more damage, but his damage output in the corner, it actually can be insane because he do get like the fireball loops. That actually can be insane, but yeah, otherwise damage output is it's more in line with the rest of the roster. And Blanka, I don't think his changes meant a lot. Now the characters at the low mid are the guys that got some pretty big changes. Terry is a character that got like a lot of buffs. I've made a video like discussing his buffs in depth. There's a lot of changes to how he operates now, and I think this is mostly because they gave Terry a niche where his niche is I'm gonna stand at my mid-range, I'm gonna stand at this distance and burn knuckle, or like maybe like a medium fireball power wave, and then once I knock you down you're gonna have to hold my drive rush. His heavy punch, because now this is +1, it's +5 on a drive rush, which is insane. Obviously means that he can easily like walk forward and press you, shake you with a low, and burn knuckle, or just fireball, gets that knockdown. That's great. He does have a throw loop. It's not the best throw loop, but it's there, and once he gets you to the corner, his damage output now is like really high. That is like 3.5k meterless. That's a lot. Bunches like buffs to his damage output overall, because obviously now he got the mid-screen combo with the heavy tackle into that as well, which is like really good. See the damage? Obviously, could have done a lot more, but that's really, really good, right? So, overall, I would say Terry, I would buff him. I would put him here in that Ryu, Luke, Juri, Sean category. I don't think he is like high tier, but he is definitely mid tier. I think he's definitely mid tier. Another character that got buffed to that level is Kimberly. Kimberly is no longer like a super low tier character. She was a menace in the beta. I mean, let's not sugarcoat things. She was very strong. Maybe people just didn't know how she played, but she was super good back then. And I will say the change to her heavy punch, this one is so impactful, so big, and it really changed because she already got like amazing walk speed, and now you give her like a forward advancing heavy that leads to a big whiff punish. That's a pretty big deal. And obviously there is changes to her arc step that also make it like really annoying to deal with right now because you can't interrupt. So that's really good, right? It improved her pressure a lot, but I would say the big thing was the change to that heavy punch. That Omega buffs her neutral, right? Because where now, like previously maybe you couldn't get a whiff punish on that, and now you actually do because of like the extended headbox on the heavy. So yeah, that's only characters that already got like really fast walk speed, mind you. So like a buff like that on a character with a really good walk speed is like super good. So it was like one small change, but actually mattered a lot. The other changes she got to like her slide and that was good, but I think the heavy punch is a really big one. This is the one that really buffed her. See, like her and Terry didn't get like insanely. Terry actually got dramatic changes, but yeah, changes to like how a move function can go a long way in making a character better. Now, before I continue with the guys down there, I'm gonna put Mai here. I'm gonna put Mai in line with Ryu and Luke and maybe Terry. I think she is a character that's in this category. I've been playing her a lot ever since she came out. Been playing her so much these days because I want to get accustomed to her, learn the matchup, and she's Mai. So I like, just like Terry, she's Mai, so I'm gonna try her regardless. Obviously like the OD fireball is ridiculous. She probably could have like the best throw loop in the game, which is kind of funny. It is punishable if the opponent happened to backdash, but the fact that it's like you're still auto timed and can walk back and shimmy, that makes it super good. Her corner carry in general, just like one combo, bam, like Ken is at the corner. Unfortunately, I don't think her unique mechanics with the level 1 is that fleshed out, and I'm sure it's something that Capcom will adjust with her going forward. But she got the good walk speed, she got good buttons, 20 frames overhead is really fast and can lead to a lot. So that's great for her. She's very similar to like Juri Chun-Li. She lacks a really long range light. Like she lacks that standing light kick type moves that can make dealing with some tools a little bit hard. But overall, I will put her in the mid tier. I think she is a not high mid tier, but yeah, on the upper end of the mid tier. And there is a lot of potential for growth as well because it appears like she might be like a setup character as well. Manon, probably like the best character in low mid. Maybe I'm actually gonna move her up there. I actually think Manon now is in a pretty good position. All things considered, I think she's in a pretty good position. They changed her meter gain, which is not like the biggest, oh my god, like this is a huge change, but it matters because now the fact that you're getting more meter means that you have more access to reversals, more access to damaging like combo enders as well, because you have to remember that now with like each medal her supers are doing more. I think the change to parry, the fact that now with parries the drive gauge reduction is scaled, I think that actually benefits her a lot because she is a character that really needed like drive to start her pressure, because obviously she doesn't have plus frames. I think this combo also was really good addition. Like in the long run, now that we have had the game for a while, I think this combo was a really good addition to her. Gave her a little bit more damage, gave her a safe jump in the corner that is possible. She didn't get like any dramatic changes, I would say, but with the changes to the other characters, with her own changes, a little bit by little bit, I think she is becoming better and better. I would put her at the lowest of mid, but still like really good. Marisa, Lily, two characters I don't think got any meaningful changes, unfortunately. Lily got some buffs, but it didn't matter. She's still like a very one-dimensional character, unfortunately, and the change was her was a buff into like the level 1 super. The fact like the change to her light DP, where like you can get like a specific juggle with her. That is just so hard to get to work. She is still too reliant, I feel like, on crouching heavy punch on that, and obviously on like the OD counter spire. And like it's hard for her to move up when the game plan is so direct. And I'm gonna say like the same with Marisa. Unfortunately, I feel like these two characters are, maybe they got power crept, or maybe like they haven't evolved. They don't have the tools to evolve with the game the way that some of the other characters did, which is unfortunate. And the same thing kind of like for Jamie, Honda, and I'm actually gonna move Honda a little bit. I think Honda is better than people give him credit for. If I'm being honest, I think Honda is a lot better than people give him credit for. Actually, his damage output now is insane. Honda is capable of getting like 7k damage right now, which is insane. But yeah, these characters didn't get changes, didn't get enough love for me to say that they will move from that place. Honda, unfortunately, perfect parry still wrecks him. Marisa, she does have damage, which is good, but the change to drive reversal really hurt her. Again, I made a video that was entirely dedicated to Marisa and what happened. Jamie is super hard to discuss, because he does have some things about him that I think are like really good, like really stupid actually. But the fact that he have to give up Oki just to go for the drink and then come back again, like like he have to do this to get the buffs, to get the good to pretty much unlock his kit. But he now adds -1, so he have to give up Oki in a game where Ken will do that and just carry you to the corner and then get through loop you. So it feels like he have to go through a lot more interactions than the other characters, which ultimately hurt him. I think that is the ultimate problem with Jamie, all things considered. Regardless of how much they buff him, unfortunately Street Fighter 6 is a game that have 2 touches, that have like a win condition that is just like far too easy to achieve out of a jab. Like getting jabbed, or like even like crouching medium kicked with a Ken is enough to put you on like his win condition. And unfortunately for Jamie, that is not the case, right? He have to go through more interactions, which will always hurt him. Dulcim is kind of the same deal. I don't think Dulcim works that well in this game, unfortunately. They didn't give him a change to his level 1 super, which I thought was, where is he on the screen? They changed it so that it does now chip damage, like legit chip damage, which is good. In some situations it can be useful. Like you can go for something like, oh, that's just like, I can go for -10. There is a little bit chip damage here. Let's actually make it standard so you can see like what I'm talking about. So that now does chip damage. There is a little bit of utility there. Maybe put some pressure on the opponent. In burnout, this is pretty much gonna be like free, right? Because it's gonna be like even safer at -6 at the range, so no character can punish that. So that's good, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think that it's that big of a deal. So this is how my tier list is looking right now. Unfortunately, like I said, Street Fighter 6, the game overall haven't changed that much. Some characters got a little bit better, some characters got a little bit worse. The gameplay, the character strengths and weakness, I don't think it changed that dramatically. Most of the cast is still similar to how they handled before the December update, so the patch ultimately didn't change that much. So what are your thoughts on this tier list? What are your thoughts on Street Fighter 6 in general? I would love to hear your thought about it in the comment section below. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.